Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavad-gītā as it is, chapter 15, Purushottam Yoga, the yoga of the Supreme Person, text number 12. Please chant along with me. Yadaditya gatang tejo jagadbhasayate kilam yat chandramasi yat chagnau tat tejo vidimamakam. Now responsibly, yat, that which, aditya gatam, in the sunshine, teja, splendor, jagat, the whole world, basayate, illuminates, akilam, entirely, yat, that which, chandramasi, in the moon, yat, that which, cha, also, agnau, in fire, tat, that, teja, splendor, vidhi, understand, mamakam, from me. Please repeat. The splendor of the sun, which dissipates the darkness of this whole world, comes from me. And the splendor of the moon and the splendor of fire are also from me. So, throughout Bhagavad-gītā in chapter 7, chapter 10, and now here, Krishna has delineated vibhuti, his opulences. Because Bhagavad-gītā, Krishna is showing us how he is God. Not only how he is God, but how he is the God of all gods. And those of you who know Bhagavad-gītā, Krishna says, there's no God superior to me. There's no God equal to me. Krishna is very firm. I am supreme. That's why he says surrender. Because that's his real position. He's the supreme. So here's some more of his vibhutis. And notice what it says. The sun which dissipates the darkness of this whole world. You will learn in the Srimad Bhagavatam how there are 14 planetary systems, and without the sun, the universe is totally dark. That one light bulb called the sun illuminates the whole universe. So that shows you, wow, the sun is all powerful. We learned in chapter 13, Krishna used that same example. As the one sun illuminates the whole universe, one spirit soul in the body gives consciousness to the whole body. One sun in the universe. Uno. Uno. One. Don't listen to those nonsense scientists. We listen to Krishna and Prabhupada. One sun in the universe. Turn off the scientists. Change the channel. Listen to Krishna. Luckily, I didn't go to college, so I didn't get brainwashed. I got my higher education from Prabhupada and ISKCON. That was my luck. So I don't have any confusion. I settled this way back in 1973. So I asked myself, so who am I going to listen to? These scientists who eat and drink and who are debauchees, or am I going to believe Shukadeva Goswami? I'm going to listen to Shukadeva Goswami, not these atheistic, womanizing scientists who have how many defects? 4 defects. Shukadeva Goswami is perfect. Srimad Bhagavatam is perfect. And my spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, I said to myself, this life I'm giving to him. If Prabhupada says it's like this, that's it. That was my decision I made in 1973. I'm not going to listen to, otherwise I'm going to get confused. So I decided in 73, Prabhupada, Gita, Bhagavatam, like that. And I feel I've done pretty good. I don't feel like I've missed anything. All right. So there's splendor in the sun. You all know, like we heard last week, that full moon night of the Sharad season, right? That's when Krishna decided to play the flute. And that's the most beautiful night of the whole year. So that full moon, also on Gaur Purnima, the moon is very nice on Gaur Purnima. So that nice, you all know, India, hot, hot, hot. But when the moon comes out, you take rest outside. Like when I was in 75, I took rest on top of the temple. The devotees were allowed to take rest outside August, right? We would sleep on top of the roof of the temple, and you would see all these millions of stars. So beautiful, sleeping outside in India. And the splendor of fire, when we do the ghee lamp, you see that splendor of fire. All right, purport. The unintelligent cannot understand how things are taking place, but one can begin to be established in knowledge by understanding what the Lord explains here. Everyone sees the sun, moon, fire, and electricity. One should simply try to understand that the splendor of the sun, the splendor of the moon, and the splendor of electricity or fire are coming from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is how we understand the absolute truth. Everything comes from Krishna. That is also the definition. Vasudeva Sarvam Iti. Everything comes from Krishna. I even have a song of mine. It all comes from Krishna. When you have complete faith in Bhagavad-gītā, then you understand what Prabhupada is saying here. Yes, all these things are nice, but where is it coming from? It's coming from Krishna. In such a conception of life, the beginning of Krishna consciousness, lies a great deal of advancement for the conditioned soul in this material world. The living entities are essentially the parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord. That we learned in verse number 5 of this chapter. And I pointed out that's a verse everyone should have memorized. Mamai bangsho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatanaha manakshastan indriyani prakratistani karshati. It's an important verse, one of the fundamental verses. Krishna is saying, you are my Angsha. Just like Hiran and Arjuna are the Angshas of Meena and Kamlesh. So we are all God's children, every one of us. And he is giving here with the hint how they can come back, that same word which he uses over and over, back to Godhead. And Kamlesh is about to produce a new DVD on this point, back to Godhead. Yes, to dispel any nonsense otherwise. Back to Godhead. Back to home. Not only back to Godhead, but that's your original home. That word home is so nice. When you've been traveling, like when I was in Santiago, but after some time, you want to come home. Or you may be in India for so long, but at some point, I want to go home. Right? No? Wow. Well, me, I want to eventually come home. Yes, yes, yes. When I was in Chile 2010, when they had the big earthquake, that's all I wanted. I want to come home. I had enough. I wanted to come home, and I had to wait 3 extra days. But finally, I got on the plane, and when I got to Panama, I Skyped Varuni. I just wanted to see, and she sent me a photo, and I said, I'll soon be home. What's that? Yes, but this one was bigger than that. 2010. It was 10 point something. Yes. All right, let's continue. From this verse, we can understand that the sun, here it is. Answer your question. From this verse, we can understand that the sun is illuminating the whole universe. Exactly what I said. He said the sun, not some suns, the sun. There are different universes, and there are... Thank you very much. Where are the boys? What are they doing? Are they gambling? What are they doing? What competition for what? Oh, okay. All 3 of them? All right. All right. Are you keeping an eye on them? You got to watch that Las Vegas, right, Kamlesh? You got to keep your eye on them. Huh? That's not home. No. From this verse, we can understand that the sun is illuminating the whole universe. There are different universes, and there are different suns, moons, and planets also. But in each universe, there is only one sun. Yes, but look what he says. But in each universe, there is... Okay, yeah. There are many universes, but in each universe, how many suns? Uno, eka. What? Yeah, we're talking about the material world. There's no need, but still there is. There's no need, but there is a sun and moon that is there. There's no need, but it's still there. As stated in Bhagavad-gītā 10:21, the moon is one of the stars. Nakshatrana mahang shashi. Now the materialistic scientists say differently. So who are you going to believe? I'm sorry. I'm going to believe Prabhupada in Bhagavad-gītā. The scientists say differently. But Prabhupada, Vedas say the moon is one of the stars. I'm taking this opinion. Sunlight is due to the spiritual effulgence in the spiritual sky of the Supreme Lord. With the rise of the sun, the activities of human beings are set up. They set fire to prepare their foodstuff. They set fire to start the factories, etc. So many things are done with the help of fire. Therefore, sunrise, fire, and moonlight are so pleasing to the living entities. Without their help, no living entity can live. So if one can just like, it's a fact. You know that in the north, they have 6 months light and 6 months dark. But in those areas, there's a lot of suicide because it's so unnatural that it makes people go, they can't handle it. And I know even devotees who live in those regions, it's very, very unnormal. 6 months, it's always light out. And 6 months, it's always darkish. So it's unnatural. And sometimes people in there, they commit suicide because it's depressing. Okay. Without their help, no living entity can live. So if one can understand that the light and splendor of the sun, moon, and fire are emanating from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, then one's Krishna consciousness will begin. By the moonshine, all the vegetables are nourished. Some of you may know this devotee who used to be in LA, Bhagavad-gītā, Bengali. He's now in New Orleans Temple, but he used to do the Maha room. He was a cook, Bhagavad-gītā. So he used to grow food right there on New Dwarka. And he used to grow according to the moon cycle. That's how he would plant. I remember he told me, if you want to have nice food, you grow according to the moon cycle. By the moonshine, all the vegetables are nourished. The moonshine is so pleasing that people can easily understand that they are living by the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Without His mercy, there cannot be sun. Without His mercy, there cannot be moon. And without His mercy, there cannot be fire. And without the help of sun, moon, and fire, no one can live. These are some thoughts to provoke Krishna consciousness in the conditioned world, conditioned soul. And now what's the big problem? Rain. There's no rain. California and other parts. And it's a big scare. And we know from Bhagavad-gītā what produces rain. Sacrifice. And what's the recommended sacrifice for the age of Kali? Sankirtan. So let's do Sankirtan. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. Here on singing the mic. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All right, chant japa, please.